given that my strategy is not changing this month, and it's probably unlikely that I will change it between now and the end of the competition, and this competition is about financial education, what I thought I'd do is talk a little bit about risk profile, because it's probably quite appropriate given where we're at in the market. So what actually is a risk profile? Basically, all it is how much risk is actually attached to an investment and how much you can actually handle that investment going up and down. And often we hear the words risk and we often hear the words volatility, and many times they're actually used together. And what that means is that if an investment has a lot of volatility, i.e. the share market for instance, you'll notice a lot of shares will go up and down quite a lot in value. Long term the trend is usually upwards in most cases, but often it has a lot of ups and downs on the during that process, and that's what we call volatility. It's movement in the price, and that's usually associated to risk as well. So i.e. the more volatility and the more movement in the price, the more risk there is. And what's been interesting lately is that in the last 5 or 6 years, because we've had such strong investment markets, most people have been quite keen to take on quite a lot of risk, because when we're in positive markets, everyone thinks it's always going to be positive. And then, when the market's turned, and it's turned big time in the last 6 to 12 months, as many of you will be aware, it's suddenly like it's all doom and gloom, and it's never ever going to get any better. And so what people are finding that in the last 5 or 6 years, they've had quite high risk profiles, but when the market's actually changed, they've realised that they haven't been able to cope with the fact that their investments have gone down in value, hopefully only on a temporary basis though. So it's important to understand how you actually handle risk, because if you are having sleepless nights when your investments go up and down in value, then maybe you need to take a more conservative risk profile and go for investments like cash, bonds, term deposits, those type of investments that don't have a lot of volatility in their price. However, the key thing that you have to remember, like everything in life, it's a balance. It's a balance between how much return that you have and how much risk that you carry. And generally speaking, the more risk that you take, the higher the opportunity is for potential returns. So conversely, if you're going to take a lower risk, then there's going to be an opportunity cost for lower returns over the long term. So it's just important to think about it and constantly review where you're at as far as your risk profile goes to ensure that it actually matches your investment strategy.